Supply, VVCRadio.com. It's Aries Lounge 101 conversation, man. And we got another historical, we like one of these legendary, historical, life-changing, like, moments in time. You know what I mean? I got the whole team in the background looking at me like I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? However, we got a true Baltimore legend, man. Not saying that the other legends I had before wasn't legends, but
you know what I'm saying?
this a whole nother level, bruh. We have fucking Dukeyman in the building.
Dukeyman.
How you feeling, man?
Damn.
Yo.
No, I'm good.
You know the finagling I had to do to get this guy out of the studio and in here for the interview.
Yeah.
Yo, it's so funny. He was on the phone like, yeah, y'all should do the interview at my house. And I was like, how many people you bringing? Like 5, 6? He's like, no, I'll do it at your spot.
Yeah.
So, like, what's been going on with you, brother? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Word.
Work as usual, you know.
What I mean? 21, so you can legally drink now. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Yo, you out here by yourself. You all grown up and stuff.
Yep.
You clean, bro. You super
Try to
clean.
be clean. I try, man.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, all right. So tell people who are not me, that may not be as educated as I am about you. Like, tell people what you do. What are the hats that you wear right now?
Producer, engineer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like the go-to guy, I guess.
You do have a go-to guy kind of
Yeah.
situation going on.
I get a lot of phone calls like, "Hey, Duke, I got a question." "Hey, Duke, I got a question. Can you, I mean, do you know how to, my thing broke." You know, all that type stuff. But
Oh, you fixing NPCs out here?
not no NPC.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, I actually got one in the closet.
I got one in the closet, too.
Y'all like, yo,
That
can
need to
you
get
go
fixed.
ahead and fix that? Shit, how much you gonna charge? That's what's up. All right, so when did your journey in music begin?
86.
Yeah, I just want y'all to let that sink in. His journey began in 86. All right, so let's take it all the way back. Dukeyman was born and raised where?
Well, my mother said we lived in Cherry Hill for a while, Ashland Avenue, and then I remember Hilton, in Piedmont.
Hood nigga for real. He named not near county, not near nice neighborhood.
I moved to the county in 3rd grade, though.
Oh, for real? Oh,
Yeah.
y'all came on up.
Yeah, but I remember being out Westport. She said we lived on Cherry Hill. I was like, okay, cool.
Damn. All right. So, did you have a lot of brothers and sisters? Was you the only child?
It was just me at the time. My little brother, he came like, I don't know, when I was in middle school or something.
Yeah, that's what's up. So, in the house, before you could touch the radio, because there was always that time period where you was forced.
No, I had a radio.
You had a radio since you was super.
We had what's that? The Trans Europe Express 8-track. I used to play all the time. Showroom dummies like this. I knew the whole thing.
8-track, yo.
Yeah, we had 8-tracks.
That's crazy. So what was you listening to from the time you first got that radio? What was like the biggest thing that you kept running back over and over and over again?
That Trans Europe Express 8-track.
Trans Europe Express 8-track. So what is that for? All right, because there are a lot of kids that's young, so they don't know what that is. So Trans Europe Express is what?
It was like the first group that really made electronic music.
Like it was like dance music?
Sort of, but they didn't use live drums. They used everything was programmed.
Right, okay.
So that was like almost like rare back then.
Right.
Back in the 80s.
So what was your lure to that? Like what made you want to keep playing?
I don't know where it came from. It just was in the house.
And you just...
I think my father had it or something. My mother had it. But my mother never listened to like urban music. My mother listened to ABBA.
So it's more like an alternative kind of...
Yeah.
I don't even want to call it rock and
my
roll.
mother never listened to like soul music. So in my house there was never like soul music.
Really? I wonder why that is.
And then when my stepfather came, he listened to like REO Speedwagon, the Doobie Brothers.
Wow.
Journey.
Wow.
So I never really... My house was never like...
The hip-hop house.
Funkadelics.
Or Funkadelics or R&B or soul.
No.
So when did you get really introduced to that? Because if you're surrounded by all of this eclectic music...
And then, what makes it crazier, my best friend at the time was white.
I mean,
But he wasn't black white. He was white white.
Yeah, you was down Cherry Hill in Westport. There's a lot.
Nah, so I go to his house. He's rocking Def Leppard and White Snake.
That's crazy. And so,
So nobody was listening to rap but me.
So when did rap come? When did you get introduced to? I mean, urban music. Now
I was listening to it, but
it just wasn't a predominant.
It was in my house.
Right.
It was just me.
Right.
It wasn't in my house. It was just me. I go get a little Walkman CD player, and I go get Tribe Called Quest or something.
Right.
That was like my first CD I bought. That was digital. That was my first digital CD. Was like Tribe Called Quest.
But you talking about a time period where you can't jump from 8-track to fucking CDs because there's a whole tape era in there.
I was missing all that.
Wow. So all right. So I still listen to Run DMC
and all that stuff.
So how do you?
But I wasn't DJing or nothing.
Right. So how do you get introduced to hip hop though? Because like if your parents listening to everything except there had to have been like a television show.
MTV.
Damn. Yeah. So was it like LL Cool J and Run DMC with the Walk This Way and the busting through the wall and all of that? I don't think people understand how that was such a moment for real.
Special Ed and
Special Ed. Oh, you go back to Special Ed.
Biz Markie, Big Daddy Kane.
Remember that video with Special Ed? He had the hovercraft, yo. And they was riding on the water. Yo, it was crazy. I'm sorry. I had a little old head moment. I'm sorry. I apologize. Go ahead.
But no, I didn't. I got introduced to. I liked it, because I still went to middle school and in high school, and that's what everybody was listening to. Right. But when I came home, that's not what I listened to.
That's interesting.
And even my white boy homeboy, he never listened to it. So
wow.
He got posters of like rock groups on his wall, and if he had company and we jam, and we're jamming to that.
Right.
We're not jamming to
no rap music.
No.
That wouldn't be the move. That would just change everything. Everybody be kind of like, what the fuck? So
some kind of well-rounded. And then when I worked at a gas station out of high school, all they listened to was the 98 Rock. So I can like name songs. Like if you're playing, like if I'm in like Applebee's or something.
Right.
And the song come on the radio, I could tell you the name of it and tell you the artist.
You can tell them the year.
Yeah,
the studio, the mixing engineer, like
people are like, yo, how you know all that? Like, cause
stuff gets stuck in your head.
I just listen to it so much, and I used to watch MTV all the time.
Word. So, when did you start? When did you decide, or even get the inclination to get involved in music? To go, go from being a spectator and a.
Well, I know you heard of DJ Precise.
Mm-hmm.
So that was his name back then. So I knew him back in elementary school. We was in class in elementary school in 3rd grade. So he wasn't a stranger to me, but he lived up the hill. No, I lived up the hill. He lived down the hill, like not in Cherry Hill, but in the county.
Right.
So, boom. Now we in class together in 9th grade. And I used to go to Milford, and I used to go home and get my boombox after school and post up at the school with my boombox at the school.
Gotta be cool.
Boom,
And you trying to hook up with the girls as they coming out.
But at that time, I was buying music from a dude that was traveling to New York every week. So he would record Hot 97 for me.
Wow.
So back then, it was hip-hop, bebop, like breakdancing music, all the slick stuff that they wasn't playing in Baltimore on the radio.
We talking about like the early days of Funk Flex? This predates Funk Flex?
Right, predates.
Okay, all right.
So I would buy a metal tape from him for like $20, and he just record the radio.
Wow.
So it'd be all slick hip-hop stuff, all, real hip-hop stuff, and and like breakdancing beats and stuff. So I used to bump that in my boombox. And of course with LL Cool J and all that stuff.
Of course.
But that's what got me into. So I liked the music. I loved the music, but that was it. But Precise, he was in my class, and I don't know, we really clicked, and he was just like, come to my house. So that's going to his house is when the floodgates open. So back then he didn't have any equipment.
So y'all was just in there with the boombox.
Nah, his older brother had three 1200s in this room.
Wow.
He had 2 set up and a spare.
Wow.
So Precise was DJing in his older brother's room.
Mm.
So, we rocking, Roxanne, Shantae, Derek B, all that stuff like that. And that's where it started for real.
That's
And the only
legendary.
really piece of studio equipment he had was like two reverbs.
Right.
But they was dope though. If you plug the mic up and start talking, you go,
And it'll record it. And then
yeah, it was dope though. But yeah, that's how I started.
So you joined him on a journey. Like you started making yourself accustomed to DJing. And
Nah, I still wasn't DJing then.
You was just
I was,
spectating.
I was a spectator. So we started getting our own equipment, and I ended up being like the equipment guy, So I would set up everything. I'm the wire man. But at my house, I didn't have 12s. I had like some old techniques and like 4 tape decks, records and all this stuff. But it was cool though at the time.
Hmm. And that was your way to get into the party and always be there. So you just set everything up and then broke it down at the end of the night.
Yeah. We were still
help carry crates because records was still the thing that you come in.
But it was funny because I knew how to mix when people thought I just did the equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So like back in high school, I had to doing like a fashion talent show. I'm hooking up our stuff, and they looking at me like, you just the turntable
You
guy.
just a help.
Yeah. Until one time I had to test to make sure everything was working, and they was like, "Yo, who's that?" So back in high school, my name was DJ Show.
All right.
Now you ain't asked me how I got the name.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm letting the story evolve.
I'm gonna tell you how I got the name. So Precise, he already had. So they had a business card, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it had everybody's name on it. So it was Monty. It was these like all the people. So Monty had a brother. It was Rolando. That's his older brother. And it was him. And it was Stephon. Monty was CMC.
Mm-hmm.
Precise was his brother. I forgot what his older brother name was.
Mm.
But DJ Show was Stephon. Stephon was like, "Yo, I ain't really trying to do the music no more."
Boom, boom, boom. So you just stole a nigga.
So he ain't even chilling with us like that, like on a music tip. So he was Show. So the business card already made up. I said, "What the hell? I'm gonna be DJ Show."
This is an inexpensive way. Great way to save money, though. Good job, sir. Good job.
So that's how I got the name.
So then, but how did you end up? Did you ever actually take any time to really DJ, or is it was just kind of? I'm talking about like for the public, not just for yourself.
No. Not until
Why? All right, I gotta ask you this question, and this is going to resurface throughout the whole thing, and I'm not gonna keep asking you, but why don't you have talent like a motherfucker? You got the personality. Why you just have no desire to be out front at all?
Nah, I was always in the back.
I'm like, you always from the beginning had zero desire. You can see how your homeboys is getting mad popularity.
Nah, that's cool.
It's like it's being the cool guy, and you just like,
nah, that's cool. I don't want to be in the front.
Interesting.
I want to be the guy in the back that, well, Slim from Cash Money.
Hell yeah, I know Slim.
I'm trying to be Slim. You see him in passing.
Actually, you want to be Baby because Baby put out albums and you putting out albums. So
yeah, I ain't trying to rap on that. I ain't trying to get no tattoo on my head or no star, no shit like that. But
I got you. All right, so back to the story. So DJ Show,
boom, Precise and Show, boom.
Yep.
So now we doing little parties in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? All this, job shit. Getting our name out there, and then we got a 4-track machine. So now we stepping up our game with the equipment. We got our own set of 12s.
What kind of 4-track was it? Tascam?
No, I think the first one we got was a Fostex.
Oh, y'all had a little bit of bread.
Yeah, and then the second one was.
Where y'all getting all this money from, man?
We was working actually.
Where you working at?
I don't know. We worked at different places.
Oh, is that what it was? Yeah. Different places?
Yeah.
All right, continue your story. All right.
So now, boom, we got the 4-track. And now, mind you, this is my man, Precise. That's like my brother.
Right.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, to this day, he's never steered me wrong. Like, never.
That's a good brother.
Like, never. In no type of way, form, or fashion. So when he says something, we pretty much do it.
Right.
So he's like, yeah, we're going to make these tracks. So he had made a track by itself on a 4-track. Now, mind you, nothing's digital. We don't on tape.
Yep, everything's
To
audio. Analog, excuse me.
Yeah, so the tape is how the 4-track work on the tape deck.
Mm-hmm.
It takes the stereo of left, right, of both sides of the tape, and that's how you get 4 tracks.
That's it.
So boom, he made a track. I'm like, okay, cool. Now mind you again, we don't have no equipment, so we got a sampler by Digitech.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pedal sampler for guitar.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 3 seconds, just long enough to loop a beat. So boom, he'll loop a beat, record it on one track, do scratches on another track, say your name, we can sample after that. Keep overlaying. Boom, now we got a beat.
Let me ask you this question. So did the sampler like loop the sample, or did you have to keep pushing it?
No, you can loop it, or you can keep pushing it.
That's that. Y'all had a fire little joint. I had a little digital sampler back then.
It's a DOD digital,
and I could push the button, but it wouldn't loop it. It wouldn't. Y'all had some money, yo.
So I heard it. It was like, yo, that's dope, And then back then, it was a couple people making club tracks.
Right.
The Equalizer, Scotty, But
wait a minute, Equalizer, Scotty B, yeah. Cause I'm talking about people at home probably don't know some of these names.
Yeah.
So and then we're talking about we have to be talking about 91, 92, somewhere between like 90 and 90. We still in the late 80s.
We did. I don't think we graduated school yet.
Dang, Scotty B was popping and
yeah, he was working downtown in the city. That's where we was getting our records from.
Okay, I'm with it. I'm happy I'm getting this time period correct. All right, cool.
Yeah. So, boom.
Damn, club music was popping in the 80s.
Yeah, because Equalizer had a record out.
Damn.
So we were just...
So what was the name of that record?
That was Getting Precise, Get 'Em.
Getting Precise, Get 'Em.
Getting Precise, Get 'Em. So, what was crazy about that was that, I don't know if people really know the history, but I be trying to tell people. So, Bernie from Music Liberated.
Right.
Downtown.
Right.
Bernie was actually in Mondawmin first.
Huh.
He had a record store upstairs in Mondawmin.
Right.
And his brother owned the store on Saratoga Street. His brother died.
Okay. They gave him the...
He went downtown, took over the store. But while he was in Mondawmin, he signed us and released our first record.
The name of that record was?
Getting Precise, Get 'Em.
Wait a minute. I thought you were saying that was somebody else. I ain't know.
No, that's my partner.
Get out of here.
So we made like 3 tracks, 4 tracks, had like a little raps. So we had a rap side and a club side.
Now, who else in that time period was doing club music?
Equalizer. I can't think of nobody else that was putting out records.
So can you surmise who invented Baltimore club music?
I can't. Now, I ain't got to it yet. Who Equalizer was doing this thing.
Right.
He definitely was one of them. But Scotty signatured the unruly sound. You know what I'm saying?
And you had to explain the difference between... because I never thought about there being a signature unruly sound.
He made like break... to me, Equalizer made like Baltimore break beats type thing. So he'll loop up something, and it'll be slick, but you can still play it in the club.
Word.
But it's not like, it don't have that sing in it, like the dick control, the sing, all that stuff in there. And then I gotta keep going because it leads up to.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
It leads up to how Scotty got our ASR 10, and that's when he made Miss Tony. What's up?
I didn't know you were in the room for that.
Yeah. No, I wasn't in the room. I was part of the sale. So now, okay, we got Get 'Em Precise, Get 'Em record out. Bernie pressed it up. Bernie's selling it, and then we stopped dealing with Bernie. And what's crazy is we recorded that project at Mo Studio from the New Market.
That's crazy.
That's another something. So boom, then we figured out a distributor. We found a distributor in Jersey or New York, and we ended up pressing up our own records and selling them ourselves. So not to step on Bernie feet, we just changed the cover.
Right.
And we sold those. So now I don't know where we're at now. We're probably in the 90s, 91. Graduated high school. Now we're gonna build a studio.
So y'all made that much money off of the records.
Now, if you got records in hand, you can sell that box, so you can make, a couple hundred off that box.
So, like, are you pulling up on regular people, or are you just going to all of your DJ friends?
We pull up on regular people, and we pull up at the stores.
Wow. Were you selling tapes too, or was you just doing the vinyl?
Well, at that time, we were just doing the vinyl.
Okay.
And then we eventually came up with a tape. Eventually, later on.
Word.
So.
And how many tracks was on there total?
Like 6.
Like 6 joints, so three on each side.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. So I can see that, and then you stack up some bread, maybe a few $1,000.
Yeah.
And then like you already got some equipment that you've been accumulating over time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some small stuff, but then all right. So where do y'all decide to put the studio?
Precise. He had an apartment. Oh no, townhouse. We put everything in a townhouse. We had it. He went and bought an ASR 10. Nobody had an ASR 10 back then because they were $2,500.
Right.
Cash.
Right.
So it wasn't no use because they just came out. It was fresh. So he bought one of them, and we started doing studio times. We had a little Tascam mic, had an ASR 10. So what we did basically was, it's a big sample. The ASR 10 is a big sample. So all the hot beats that was out that summer, we put on each key. And we loop it on each key. So he said, yo, I want to rap to, whatever, boss, boom, and we hit the button, and that's what you rap to. So somebody got to sit there and hold the button the whole time.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying?
And then they will rap. They'll hook it up. They probably just come in and
rap,
just spit.
and it was dope at the time,
So nobody was really rapping to be serious. They were just kind of like, I want to come in. I want to hear myself record it, bump it in my car.
Yeah, but.
And you would break it. So after we record it, you double my tape.
Yeah, and
they would run about. And then how much was studio time back then?
I don't even know, man. That's crazy.
Like $10,
right.
$5, $10.
All right, so then all that's in motion. We chilling, whatever. So Precise gets in a little trouble, and he get locked up. So we gotta pay for a lawyer. So he got out the house. They moved out the house. I had the ASR 10. So of course, I learned. I didn't really know how to work it like that. Right. But in my possession, I figured some stuff out.
Right. You're a tinkerer anyway.
Yeah. So I'm playing with it, and then, of course we in the process of selling it. So Scotty got my number, and he was like, "Yo, I'm trying to get it. I got this much." I was like, "Well, his mother want more than that." So then I was like, well, let me talk to her. So I talked to her, and she was like, all right, go ahead, sell it to him. So I sold it to him. And then, like, not soon after is when all the unruly shit hit the fan. Like, all the tracks, everything, you know what I'm saying?
So you're the reason why. So Sean Caesar owes you. Let's get a check. Hey, what's up, baby? Let's go, man. Can Dukey get a little cut in? That's fire, yo. You were the beginning. You were the reason why Unruly got his start. Kind of inadvertently, not.
Right. So, but it was hard for me to get back where we were before he got locked up.
Right.
Because the keyboard $2,500. I only had $2,500.
Right.
So now the keyboard's gone. I'm back at my house. Little Ricky thing set up. So my mom buys me now, ASR 10 made by Sonic. So we go to Bill's Music, and she buys me a Mirage.
Wow. Bill's Music.
Yeah. So Mirage is like the baby version of ASR 10. So it's only 2 tracks. I didn't like it. We took it back. So we end up getting this EPS 16 Plus, if anybody knows about that. Now, the 16 Plus is like a baby ASR 10, but it's just called a 16 Plus.
Right.
It does the same exact shit that an ASR 10 does.
It just wasn't as popular.
Right. It's older. It's just an older version.
Right.
So I'm in that joint banging beats out for anybody and everybody on that EPS.
So people are coming to you like, "Yo, can you make me a beat?" And you just start making.
So I was doing stuff for like Diamond K, Kenny B, Cold Sounds. I did some stuff for Technique, Booby, a bunch of people.
All these people that he had mentioning are all DJs from Baltimore City. All right, you need to take a. You need to. All right, well, look, y'all keep it locked. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Aries Lounge 101. Let's go. It's your boy JS1 Supply, VVCRadio.com, Aries Lounge 101. I got my dog in the building, the OG, yeah, I mean, golly, the producer, the man, the executive. You know what I mean? Dukeyman is in the building. Yep. So before we went to break, now you telling me that y'all sold the ASR10. You just got the new piece of equipment.
I got the EPS 16 plus.
You started selling beats.
I really wasn't selling. I was just making them.
Right.
So I made like 2 beats, 3. No, I ain't gonna lie. I had a boatload of beats.
Wait a minute. So you ain't sell these beats? You giving Diamond K and all them?
No. I sold them. I sold them.
Cool.
But for me getting on personally before all that, I had made a couple beats and I gave them to Booby to play on the radio.
Got you. And these are club tracks.
Right, club tracks.
Right.
So I think Technique worked at the radio station too. So he called my phone. Now we knew Technique from selling tapes down the park.
Right.
We knew Booby from the Plaza working in a record store.
Got you.
So none of these people are strangers to me. So Technique called my phone like, yo, those your tracks that Booby playing on the radio. And I was like, yeah. So he was like, what's your address? I'm on my way over there. So, boom, we in my room. I'm playing all a bunch of tracks and shit. He like, look, bring all your discs. We going to Scotty house. We gonna put this stuff out. Now, mind you, this all happened in the same night. The same day Booby played them, Technique came to my house. Technique took me to the Scotty house. The same day.
God damn. Like, that nigga wasn't playing.
Nah. So, boom, the whole thing. So now we go to Scotty house. Now, Scotty house is like the hit factory in Baltimore, technically. He got a full-fledged studio, big mixer, everything in there. But the funny thing is when I went in there, I seen everybody, like, for the first time. Boom Man was in there. Jimmy Jones was in there. KW Griff was in there. Tech took me there. You know what I'm saying? So that's like the hub.
Yeah.
So I just started downloading about 20-some tracks back to back into the DAT machine until I had my own record come out under Unruly. Well, it came under Knuckleheads, which was under Unruly, but it was Technique. Technique was putting stuff out.
So wait a minute. So you signed a contract that night? Or y'all, it was just like a handshake deal?
Yeah, it wasn't no contract.
So how do you split it? How do y'all agree to split it? So it's like a 50-50 thing?
I can't even tell you about that. I don't even remember.
Did you actually get any money off of that? Or you just...
blur. I don't know. It was a blur.
Wow.
I can't even remember.
You just didn't give a fuck.
Truthfully, I was pumped, you know what I'm saying, the way I was at and what was going on. And plus, they had me a record out.
Right.
And that I didn't have to pay for it, that too.
Right.
So that was
wait a minute. So you got the record that you had with your man Precise before he went to jail.
Right.
And then you drop a solo record while he in jail.
Yeah.
And you going crazy out here in these streets.
Right.
And you still don't nobody know what your face look like.
Yeah. But then, hold on though.
Yeah.
Name change though.
Okay, so it stopped being DJ. At what point did you stop being DJ Show?
So, in the transition of my partner going to jail, he's out on bail or whatever, house arrest. So he's working, and we still got the big Benz, you know. So I'm in barber school now.
Oh, you can cut hair?
Yeah, I'm a barber.
Okay.
Licensed barber. So boom, he would drive the Benz to work, which was down the street from my house. I take the Benz. Now, I ain't got no driver's license. I take the Benz to barber school. I leave barber school before he get off work.
And you just go
I
back
drop the Benz off and walk home. So my mother don't know I'm driving, and I'm going to barber school. So I pull up in the Benz in barber school. Everybody like, yo, why you in barber school? You driving the Benz? Hey, bro, It's not my Benz. It's my man Benz. You know, I'm using it because he working. You know what I'm saying? And that's my man, and he don't care. And he want me to finish Bible school, so that's it. So so now I think he went into jail. He got locked up for real. So we got like 8 years. Now I'm cutting hair. So you remember Theo Shorty You Fat. So I'm working with him. This is before Shorty You Fat came out. So he's a barber.
Yo, you just
he's a barber where I work at.
Right.
So it was a bunch of them, But Theo, he was in there too, young. He just fresh out of school, fresh. And I'm now working in there. So I'm gonna tell you how I got my name straight up. No whole spot.
It sounds like it's about to be a wild story.
It's wild. So
because you a wild nigga.
Boom, I'm in the bathroom taking a dump, right, at the barber shop, and of course it stank. You know what I'm saying? So boom, I come out, and my man Ronnie was like, "Ew, Dukeyman." We just being there joking. So I don't know why it's stuck or how it's stuck, but it's stuck.
It's stuck like a motherfucker.
So that's how Dukeyman came.
You took a dump, it stank,
and then
niggas started making fun of you, and it sticks.
Right. So
this is the
so that's
this
how,
is black culture. That's
how Dukeyman came about, and then of course I'm making club tracks, and Theo like yo, and this is a true story. He goes by a Tahoe. A two-door Tahoe coupe, you know what I'm saying? Big boy, got rims, everything with it. He made a song about it. So that's how the Shorty You Fat song came about. Shorty You Fat, maybe when it hit that.
So did he write it in front of you?
Nah, I think he already had it written. I'm not sure.
And he just came to you and you just like threw him a beat and then
take a ride in my Tahoe. Boom, he already had a Tahoe. So we recorded, and of course it blows up. Now we
because you got to connect to the radio, so you just sending.
Well, it was easy back then. That's another thing.
It wasn't as much politics in the radio station.
It was easy to go to the radio station back then. You just knock on the door, boom, they let you in. Hey, it's Dukeyman here. It's live. You can be live, but it's love at the same time. But when they, after a while, you really can't just bust in the radio station no more. So, but yeah, so I'm working with Theo. We making all these tracks. I introduced him with the tech, so now they making tracks. So that's Theo. Today, you want to get him in here? That's a whole nother
that's a whole nother interview. Oh, we gonna get him in here.
Whole nother interview. So
that's
now
crazy.
It's me, Theo. We all working together and everything.
So he's working on a solo album at that point because once
this was recording,
just randomly recording.
Yeah, just recording. Yeah.
Just because he liked to record.
Yeah, because it's something that we could. It's something that we could do, and it's working.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like we're not just making stuff.
Now, is he getting like booked in clubs and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So he getting bread from the club.
Yeah, we out Eastern Shore doing shows and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, it was real.
And I'm having to throw this out here. Did anybody do any publishing? Did anybody do any copyrights publishing?
Not at the time, no.
I had a feeling that niggas ain't do that shit. Like, yo, it just sound like y'all was just making it and putting it out and, somebody want to pay me to come to a club? Okay, let's go. Like,
all right, so you don't know how much stories these bleed into each other. So the barber, so now we cutting hair. We got Shorty Fat. I got gang of club tracks. I'm doing stuff for Kenny B, Diamond K. So everybody bopping. So we in the club, Boo be playing our stuff, Kenny B playing our stuff, and like Hammerjacks and stuff. So that was our ritual. We go to Hammerjacks after that.
Right.
So now this is where Be Rich come in the story. Mind you, everybody lives in the same hood. Be Rich lived down the street from me.
Now, Be Rich, to my recollection, I don't really hear about his movement until
2000.
Right.
We got signed in 2000, but we was recording way before then.
Look at wow. All right, go ahead. Tell your story. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
All right, so boom. So James, that's Be Rich homeboy.
Mm-hmm.
So James cut hair.
Mm-hmm.
Now he working with us. So James' brother come up all the time, Teddy plays the part too, and then Be Rich come up, get his hair cut. Brian, that's his name. He always come up there.
Right.
He get his hair cut. He been getting his hair cut for years up there. That's right. So now I was recording him because he was in college going to Eastern Shore
Right.
after a while. So when he come home, we record. It was like regular. We had 80 dime, prayer to the 80 dime CD.
Yeah.
It was like two of them. So I was at the flea market selling them,
Right.
because me and Technique had a booth. So I was, hey, let's sell the 80 dime joints out here. Boom. That's a whole nother can of worms.
And that shit takes the fuck off. It goes
So
crazy.
I made the beat the little, but see, so all the recording we was doing before was at my mother's house.
Right.
All right, so I would take it was a rolling 8 track, 808 something 8 track recorder, hard disk recorder, and a microphone, headphone. I would take it to his house. So it wasn't no speakers. It was kind of like microphone, headphone, track machine.
Mm.
That's it. I'll record it, take it back home, mix it, and then put on tape or something. 'Cause
Right.
it wasn't no CDs or nothing.
Right.
So that was the ritual back then at the time. Then I moved. I got married, moved, now we got a house. So I got a little jive ass studio. Now mind you, my little brother even paid key. My little brother paid a point. Because my little brother introduced me to the computer.
Mm.
I ain't had no computer.
Right.
I ain't know nothing about a computer.
And what year is this, bro?
This still was probably like in the 90s, early 90s still.
I'm about to say, cause I'm about to be like, so when does Tim Trees and LMS and
It's
all them
coming.
come?
They
Yeah,
coming.
yeah.
They coming.
So you trying to tell me that your relationship with
I
Be
know.
Rich predates?
Yeah, I've been known.
Okay.
Because you figure the 80 Dime CD was at least a year old. We was recording that way before the Woe Down came out. Woe Down never got on an 80 Dime CD. Woe Down was a single.
But
The whole 80 Dime CD is like slick. Because it was a click. It's a click. 80 Dimes is a click.
right.
It was probably like 10 or 15 people.
Yeah.
And maybe 4 or 5 of them rap.
But I remember first picking up the $80 joint. It was 2003 or something like
that's
that.
old because we got signed in 2000. CD was the tape was way before then.
Wow.
We got signed in 2000 on Valentine's Day.
Wow. That's crazy.
But we made it on Christmas.
Right.
Christmas Eve or something. Something crazy.
Damn. That's crazy. Okay, continue the story. So, all right, so you got some equipment. Y'all move. You got married.
So I moved. Boom. So now I'm on Woodlawn, and I made and I had a little CD with old school. It was like old school TV shows.
Mm.
So boom, you got good times come on in, So you rocking good times, and you get the little break part. So I just sampled the clap, the kick, and I redid it the same way they did it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think nothing of it. I thought it was dope, just period. You know what I'm saying? So I let him hear, and I was like, "Yo, just put put something to this,
Right.
and let me see how I sound." So then he did the first verse of Woe Down. And I recorded. Because mind you, I got a computer now. Now, I got introduced to the computer from my brother. Because my brother he was in school. And
Right.
he was doing computer training. You know what I'm saying? So for Mac and IBM, whatever, back then. So I'm in the house. I got a little job-ass computer. He like, we snowed in. So that's when he hooked up multiple. I was like, can you hook more than one monitor? He like, yeah, you just got to do this. Blip, blip, blip. So now I got 2 monitors. Then I saw old Dan. I got like 4 monitors up there on my one little computer. So boom. All right, we're going to pass that. So now we got one verse of Woe Down.
And when you were recording directly to the PC, or you still recording
I got
onto
the PC. I got a PC.
So what software are you using at this time?
I was using, at that time I was using Vegas.
You had money back then, bro.
No, I did not have money
Nigga,
back
you
then.
just said you had 4 monitors, and we talking about the 90s. Nigga, shit is expensive.
I had a computer dude, so I'm cutting the head. Come on, man.
That's a fact.
I'm rich. So boom.
He said rich.
Rich, bitch. Cut the head, man. Just buying cars like left and right.
Right.
All right, so cool. So it was a dude. I don't know the dude. I can't remember his name, but he had a slick studio. White boy.
Mm-hmm.
He had a slick studio in his spot.
Mm-hmm.
Like dope, And one time he gave me a disc full of like bootleg programs. So he introduced me.
Hookup.
He introduced me to the underwear.
Thank God to the hookup, bro.
So I had all the Sony stuff: CD Architect, Acid, Soundforge, Vegas, New Window, Steinberg, Cubase, whole heap of stuff. So that was like my Bible. That disc was like my yo. I put Technique on with it. I ended up putting Raw Lee on with it, and to this day Raw Lee still uses Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Jesus.
So boom. Now where we at? Oh, so we record the first verse.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, you probably heard X105,
Mm-hmm.
DJ B.
Mm-hmm.
So Tech and B got close because they both turntablists. I'm still hanging with Tech. So Tech is like he like overseeing my shit,
Right.
making sure I'm good,
Right.
whatever. So one time I go to B house and I just played him the little snippet I had,
Yeah, the one verse with the
the
beat.
one verse. He was like, "Yo, that shit hard. Finish it and bring it to me." And he told me when to bring it to him. So I said, "Cool, all right." So we finished it, and I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna go to X105 and bring it to him," not knowing he made like a whole production about me coming up there bringing this song. So it was him and Lil Mo on the radio. So the whole
Little
time,
Mo, the R&B singer.
yeah, Lil Mo R&B.
She was doing radio in the 90s.
Yeah, she was with DJ B on X105.
Fuck me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So boom, I'm doing what I was told.
Right.
Bring me this. When you finish it, bring it to the station at 8 o'clock. I didn't know he made a huge production. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Dukeyman coming up here bringing me this track. I'm gonna play at 8 o'clock on the dot. So I'm thinking like, cool. I didn't know because I would listen to the radio. So I get to the radio station, give him the tape, and he just like go ape shit like, yeah, Dukeyman, this live. I'm tripping like, what are you doing? You know. So then he plays it, starts it over, bomb it, play it, bomb. He
Pulling
doing
the funk flex move.
funk flex time 10 on me. I'm like, yo, he ain't even played the whole song yet. So then he was just killing. So he played it like one time straight through. He just was giving it like crazy love. Like I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So then I'm like, cool, cool. I dap him up, whatever, and he's still playing it, but he done rocked off on it like hella hard.
For at least 30,
So
40
yeah,
minutes.
I'm like, all right, cool. I get in the car, he's still playing it.
Wow.
I was like, yo, and then since then, he like blew it up. Like seriously.
Now, did B Rich hear all of this happening?
Hell no, he was in Eastern Shore.
What? Wait a minute. So B Rich, they going crazy on his record. He not even in town to hear it. You ain't even expecting none of this to happen.
He in Eastern Shore.
Yo, that's crazy.
So boom, we rocking off. It's getting hella. Now it's on rotation. It's on rotation.
In one day?
No, not after one day, but just after
within a
the
short time
process,
period.
yeah.
Right.
It's in rotation. You figure we started playing it around Christmas, and we got signed on Valentine's Day. I don't know nobody in 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Less
that's
than 2
fast.
months. So, you might remember Nigel Mack.
Mm-hmm.
So Nigel was like the street team. He worked the street team. So he was like, "Yo, I know some people. I want to send them the Be Rich song.
Mm-hmm.
Not thinking nothing of it. Go ahead, do what you do, whatever. So he ends up sending it to Kev, which was at the time, um, I can't remember the group. It's a little country group from Oklahoma, so I forgot. They did "Oh No, Hell No," yeah, y'all done up and done it. They did that song. It was a country
what
song.
the hell that is.
So boom, he sent it to them, and they had it, but I ain't hear nothing from it. I ain't hear nothing from that. So I was like, cool, whatever. I'm in the studio recording. My man from Park Heights, whatever at the time, and then I know Technique said he was talking to dudes from Atlantic Records,
Mm-hmm.
Mike Kern, he was the senior vice president at the time,
Mm-hmm.
because Technique was trying to get their archives of like Aretha Franklin, all that stuff to do club remixes of it. So boom.
That's an ingenious idea at the time.
Right. But it got sidetracked because while he talking to him, he mentioned B Rich song. So Mike Kern had B Rich song right in front of him, and he played it. He was like, "You talking about this song?" And Teddy was like, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, I'm looking for them." He said, well, "That's my man. You know." Next thing you know, my phone go crazy because now all the stuff Nigel did is coming up. Technique did all at the same time, the same 5 minutes. Nigel calling me, Technique calling me. Yo, 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 he coming down from California in like 8 hours. He gonna be here. I'm recording. I'm like, what you mean? So I had to shut down my whole session to meet the A&R dude downtown. So technically, I think it was me, Tech, and Nigel that we met him the first time at McCormick
And B
Smith.
Rich is still in Eastern Shore.
Yeah, he's still in Eastern Shore.
And he
no
probably
clue.
not even aware of none of this.
He has no clue.
Yo, go ahead.
So we
This
go
is
meet
insane.
him. We go meet him at the restaurant. We ain't eating nothing. We just met him at the restaurant. So he was like, "Well, yeah, y'all got the song, and I'm pretty much recording everything. So I'm like, well, yeah, we got a whole project. So he's like, yeah. He said, well, where's B Rich at? I said, B Rich is in school. So now I'm like, yo, so he's still here. The A&R dude still here. So he's trying to see B Rich the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So I called B Rich like, yo, I don't know what you doing down there, but I think you need to come to Baltimore like ASAP. So we go meet him the next morning, and I don't know who car we was in, but it was a little ass car. We all crammed in this little car, and our dude in the front passenger seat, and we playing all our stuff that we recorded. Now, mind you, a lot of stuff is over. Back then, Mobb Deep was the shit.
Right.
Capone, Noriega, and Mobb Deep.
Right.
So
it's all kind of.
So Be Rich, that's how they was flowing, straight
Right.
up. And that's how they was dressing. Super Tims, Brown, the leather Tims.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he was dressing.
That's a fact.
So we in there, a lot of the beats might have been, somebody else's song with a little twist to it. But he heard it, and he was like, all right, we're going to New York tomorrow. I'm taking y'all to Atlantic Records to New York. Now, mind you, the dude, A&R dude's from California.
Mm.
So the office in California is 50 people. The office in New York is 500 people.
Wow.
So we ended up getting on the train the next morning, and we went to Atlantic Records. Now, they knew we were coming. So it wasn't a surprise when they saw us there. So, of course, we get there. B Rich got a lawyer. I got a lawyer. Because you can't have the same lawyer for the producer
Right.
and the rapper because it's a conflict of interest. So my lawyer is working on my own deal for Atlantic. His lawyer working on his deal. And the dude, Kev, was there. So basically, he's our appointed manager at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So they just going back and forth on the phone. How much we gonna get? What's that? Blah 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 blah. So I had a contract to do 5 songs or something, and he got his contract. So that was it. So now we in the office, locked in a room with our lawyers on a speakerphone, talking to their lawyers in the other room that we're sitting next to, and they just going back and forth like with numbers and stuff.
And y'all just.
We just chilling.
Are you excited? How are you feeling in that moment?
We don't know how to feel because we don't even know what we doing for real. I don't think. We just was
What you
there.
mean you don't know what we doing? Like you went to New York, you
Yeah,
in Atlantic
but
Records.
It happened so fast, and we never heard a story like that. So we had nothing to compare it to.
You're right. This is before we really
You know what I'm
started.
saying?
Like
we had nothing to say. Oh, yo,
this is
said
how
he
this
did
happened. Yeah.
No, we just was doing it at the time.
So y'all just in that bitch picking boogers and chilling.
Yeah, we on a speakerphone.
Did they at least give you some free food or
Hell,
something?
they ain't give us nothing. So we in there chilling in the room. They negotiating back and forth. So one dude might talk about my contract. I'll be like, yeah, cool, whatever. I ain't never had no $6,000, $7,000 at one time. So for me, I'm just joking. It's funny to me. Because they talking these crazy numbers.
And you ain't think to push the numbers up?
Yeah.
You ain't think, you just...
No, he good with the numbers. He making sure he gonna get as much as he can.
Right.
So I'm like, cool, whatever. Because I ain't never initiate any number. We never initiate any type of numbers. So what's funny is the whole ironic thing about that was the lady's name. Her last name was Baltimore. That was doing the actual paperwork. She's their lawyer. Last name was Baltimore. This lady. She's real pretty too. So boom. Then we signed the paperwork, and then we go home. So
Did they give you the check right then, or did you have to wait and they mail it to you?
I don't even remember. No, I think the check got mailed. Cause my check came in the mail. I bust that thing open. I bust that down. You know.
And that's when you was like, I'm not cutting hair no more.
Nah, cause we had to go on promo tour like ASAP. After we went back to Atlantic Records to meet everybody. So now.
So how much time? All right, tell me how much time between how much time between the signing to the promo tour?
Like a month.
Okay. We gonna come right back, yo. This story is just getting underway. Keep it locked, Aries Lounge 101. Let's go. It's your boy JS One Supply, VVCRadio.com. We're back. I got the boss, Dukeyman, in the building. Yeah, I mean, this is segment 3 out here. Like we just got signed, baby. We rich. We rich. So all right. So you get signed. You go on promo tour a month after you get signed.
Right. So
the check don't come there because you said this off camera. So you hadn't got the check yet when y'all left town for the promo tour.
Yeah, I don't have no money.
So do they give y'all like something so you can dress and eat? And...
No. So
that don't make no
per
goddamn
diem
sense.
comes as a check, but you're not nowhere long enough to receive it. We shucking and jiving. We in St. Louis today. We in somewhere else tomorrow.
So how are you eating? How are you getting food? Who's paying for the food?
Well, Be Rich, he was paying for a lot of stuff because some of the gigs were paid.
Got you.
So he'd make sure I was good. You know what I'm saying? But in between time, I had my partner because I think he was out of jail back then.
Right. So Precise came on the road with you.
No, he wasn't on the road, but I think he was out. Like halfway through that whole period,
right?
And I would get him or my little brother to put some money on my checking account.
Got you. So, all right. So you on promo tour? What's it like on tour? And what's your job at that point?
So, long story short, I wasn't going to go on promo tour because I was married and I was expecting a child, but found out the child wasn't mine, so I dipped the promo tour. Hello. So
revenge.
So I made a quick phone call, like, yo, I don't know who's supposed to be your DJ. Tell him to stay the ass home. I'm gonna be the DJ. So now we on like a 40-passenger van with 4 people.
Wow.
We got the whole van to ourselves.
Wow.
So what's funny was this is when Clips was coming up. So Clips wasn't. But what's funny thing was, Clips was everywhere we popped up, but we never did a show with Clips.
Interesting.
So it was Clips and Avant always popped up at the same hotel, even before or after, checking in. But we never did. We did do a show with Avant eventually, but we never did a show with Clips.
So did y'all build a rapport between y'all? Just kind of like, hey, what's up? Y'all sit around talk shit, or it was just like you see each other, y'all just give each other.
We never did long enough. We never did long enough to kick it with nobody. So we did shows with Ashanti. It was one big show with like the Yin Yang Twins, Monica, LL Cool J. It was like a summer
like summer jam,
type
right,
joint.
Right.
Yeah. So boom, but we still ain't there long enough. As soon as we get off stage, we gotta go.
Wow.
You know, so.
And what y'all eating predominantly on tour? Was it McDonald's?
Trash, just trash, fast food, whatever. Because we really had a lot of money. We ain't had no car. When they dropped us off to the hotel, we stuck. So that's when I started drinking beer because B Rich kept beer in his room. So that was like, I was like, let me get one of these. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So boom. All right. So yeah. So before the tour, we was in the studio, of course, recording everything. Now before all this stuff got signed, I just recorded Tim Trees, maybe like 4 to 6 songs on Tim Trees project.
So how did you get introduced to Tim?
I got introduced through Tim from Raw Lee and Manny and Dre.
Gotcha.
So Manny and Dre was like Tim Tree's managers.
Now, let me run back because for those at home who may not be familiar with the short term, so when you say Riley, when we talking about Riley, DJ Manny.
No.
So it's okay, it's another person named
Hood
Manny,
niggas.
and then Dre.
Hood niggas. Yeah, hood niggas.
And then Dre wasn't Dre Johnson. It was somebody else. All right,
no.
cool. I just wanted to double check.
Lil Dre and Manny. They actually was friends with Rod, and I think Theo knew him, and then I got introduced to him. So Dre pretty much funded all the production. So I gave him some beats. Dre paid for them. That was the first time I got paid some slick money for some beats. Anyway, so and
shout out to Tim.
And then Rod, I met Rod. Rod was calling me while he was locked up in jail about equipment to buy when he got out of jail.
Okay, all right. Why the fuck he calling you?
So boom. So that's how we connected. So now we in the studio recording, boom, 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 everything popping, and of course all the stuff that Rod did is the ones that jumped off.
Right.
Cool. You know what I'm saying? So now we in California recording Be Rich stuff, and I'm still talking to Tim in California because we just finished this project. So Tim like, we rapping. Because the funny thing, the real funny thing is, so we get to California, we go to the studio. It seemed like an A&R party that was in the studio with us, like all the A&Rs. Like what's his name was down there, Tony. The owner club, 2 o'clock club. He was down there popping out,
Tony Austin.
Tony Austin. We like, yo, I'm thinking like, well, why all y'all people in here? It's like a party. They celebrating like, well, it's crazy. So yeah, we in there recording. And then once we done recording, of course we go to promo tour. We met Destiny Child in there, Celine Dion, a whole bunch of people else in there.
Word.
Cool. So we was at a big studio, West Lake Studio in California, West Hollywood. So where should I go now? So boom, we recorded. We was on promo tour. Promo tour done. Tim Tree's album is out. Now this was crazy. So of course they were pumping up Tim Tree stuff at that time.
Right.
And what's crazy is every A&R knew about Tim Trees. So Tim Trees wasn't a stranger.
I mean, because the records, he had 2 or 3 joints out the first album that blew. So, and he was all over Baltimore. And I remember that was the first artist I remembered him doing performances that everybody knowing about.
I told him, I was like, yo,
your name buzzing.
Your name is definitely buzzing out here because they know about you. Like they know because we got trying to figure like why you ain't go get Tim. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't go get him. But it was just weird that they that's why I try to tell people like, if you put something out, people know about your stuff. I don't care how underground, low you think it is. Like these dudes out here, that's their job to find talent,
right?
And they will scrounge and grab anything they can grab a hold of and listen to it to see if they can find some talent.
Word.
All right.
Continue. All right, so Tim does his thing. The album comes out. It's doing really well. Y'all on promo
so
tour.
he killing Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? Killing Baltimore on that. I think in the meantime, we shoot the video for Woe Now. And everything popping. Tim Trees popping. Be Rich Woe Now popping. And then, I don't know where to go after that.
So can we pause and go back? Because I want to talk about one of my favorite groups from out of Baltimore, and that's LMS. And I know LMS came out in that time period, or maybe a little bit before.
Okay. So now we're going to go back to school. Back to high school.
Wait a minute. Yo, I hate you, yo. Wait a minute. So you knew these niggas in high school?
Yeah.
All right. Tell the story.
So we're going to go back to high school. So technically, it was me, Precise, and a dude named Mark. Mark Sykes. He was the one... His little brother, Don, Don real close to Drew, everybody in Drew Hill, like Nokia on them right now. So he was messing with those dudes. That was his homeboys.
Right.
But he was probably like maybe 4 years younger than us or something. So I knew them from the neighborhood from messing with Don. But they rap, and we knew they rap, and we knew that they had an album out. And we knew it was pretty dope because they actually got played on the radio.
Right.
So Eric Nell, Black, and I forgot the other dude name. That's my man too. All right, it gets worse than this, right? So if you ever listen to the skits on Tim Tree's album,
yeah,
that's LMS sitting there with us.
Yo, get the fuck out of here. So LMS is on Tim Tree's album doing skits.
Yeah, they was
Inadvertently. They probably wasn't intentionally.
They was at my house at the time, and Tim was like, "Yo, we need to do skits."
So was this before they dropped the single, or was it after they dropped the single?
After.
Oh, okay. So they already kind of lit in the city.
Yeah.
And Tim's kind of like, so they do they interact with Tim and they build a relationship with him and all that?
No, we were just in there chilling. Because, Tim from the city, they from the county, so I don't know how that would interact, but everybody was cool. We was chilling,
right?
Drinking some Jamaican rum, getting turned up.
Yeah.
And that's how the skits. So all the skits on Tim's album is from my living room with LMS and Tim Trees.
That's crazy. And is there a game? I'm assuming because LMS is like the radio's popping, they getting shows.
Yeah, they was getting.
So Tim, are they learning? Are they telling Tim like, "Yo, you gotta move"? They just kicking on the Bo Willie on some regular shit.
And
that's crazy, yo.
So I've been to Eric Blacks. I knew Black, but Eric I would see him all the time because he knew a couple other people that I knew.
Right.
And all of them was the same age. Was B Rich.
Right.
So their crew was like 4 years younger than us. So I never went to school with B Rich, but we went to the same school.
Right.
Same for Theo. They all around the same age. So I never went to school with Theo, but we went to the same school.
Right.
So when I got out, he came in.
Wow. This is crazy. So how did the LMS situation come about? So they recorded the music.
I don't have no parts of that.
You don't have no part. You just recorded some of it.
No, I ain't recording none.
You ain't recording none of that stuff. I could assume they recorded. They ain't get no beats from you or nothing. Nothing to ask you.
Nope.
They was just your peoples. They just coming through drinking.
I just knew them. That was it.
That's random as fuck. All right. Yeah. So Tim blows. He does his thing, but he never takes it to another level. Yeah. You know what I mean? You are involved on the second album as well. The second Tim album.
Which one?
The second album. He does 2 albums. He got the first one, and then he got the second one that has the Get Smart beat on there. The dun 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 dun.
No, I didn't do that one. I don't know how to do that one.
Yeah, that was crazy. The second album actually, that's the second one actually came in stores and shit.
Yeah, so I didn't do that. But at the same time, we still cool. Everything cool, and I don't know where to go from here because I can keep going.
After Be Rich, y'all, he goes on tour. The album comes out. Does the album do like what?
It did cool numbers.
Right.
It was a favorite of a lot of celebrities. They liked it. So it was in like 2 movies and 1 video game.
I remember that. So what happens after that? So like, do you immediately go back in and start working with him on the second album? Or?
No, because the A&R dude was an ass. So his demands wasn't what B Rich wanted. So B Rich wanted a certain song to be the next single. A&R wanted another song to be in the next single, and I kind of bumped heads, and then shit all go sour.
Wow.
So the A&R sent me home because he like, Dukeyman still recording whatever he done, get his ass out of here. So I'm home now, and B Rich still recording. So that went,
So do you have any information pertaining, like, so Paula Campbell comes out also in that time period. Davon comes out in that time. So any of these people kind of working with you or in the area? So you just kind of on the outskirts and stuff.
Yeah.
So what's the next big explosion for you? Like as far as like.
Well, so now, boom, I come back home. I don't have no job because I was gone for like 8 months.
Right.
I got my check. I'm sitting on a couple of dollars.
Mm-hmm. You comfortable now?
I still got my car, so everything cool. Then what else happened to that? So now I just had it in my mind what I was doing.
Did you open a studio? I mean, well, you already had a studio
boom.
in the crib.
I forgot. So boom, technique like, yo, I'm going to open up a record store.
Mm-hmm.
He said, he said, you want you to come work for me? Because I was like, I ain't have no job, and I ain't really want to go back to Canaan because my money was cool. I ain't got no, I had a divorce.
Right.
I'm back in my mother's house. I ain't got no bills. So I'm like, all right, let's go out here. So I told him, boom, just give me this, and we work it out. So now we down there working in a record store, running a record store. So now I got all my club tracks popping. Now me and him hustling tracks to Bernie across the street. Because now he got a store across the street from Bernie. Kind of like a conflict of interest, but hey, it works.
Yeah.
So we selling our records, we selling him records, and it's pretty good. The money's pretty good.
You living good.
Yeah, and then he builds a studio on the back of the store. Now, this is when it gets crazy. So Bernie had people coming from China, New York, all over the world to get these club tracks because that was the only place to get it. There wasn't no digital media. You had a record or you didn't have a record.
Right.
So Biz was in there getting it. Africa Bambaataa was in there getting it. So Tech got with Africa Bambaataa. So the next big project I did was Africa Bambaataa project.
Holy moly!
So the one that's out now is the one I worked on. So it's like 3, 4 club tracks when I did
From
years
a few
ago.
years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Checks had nice checks.
It was cool, you know what I'm saying?
Cool little something,
Yeah,
something. Little lunch money.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Nothing crazy.
That was like at the end of Tommy Boy.
You working with hip hop legends. I mean, it's nothing serious. Just another day in the office for Dukeyman. I mean, it's nothing. All right.
Yeah.
So y'all start cranking out. So not only y'all selling vinyl like crazy.
Yeah, we put our own stuff out. Too.
Yeah, you putting your own stuff out. You dealing with these dudes making studio sessions. You killing that. So like. This is insane, bro. So, like, how long did y'all? Because I know the demise of the record store. The record store started closing like 2003, 2004, something like that.
So right now, Raw Lee cranking, he popping. All the clubs is popping.
Because he's doing all of the da-da-da-da-da. I mean, da-da-da-da would be Paula Campbell, Dave Vaughn, and most of the
then it's still the club tracks, you know.
And he's still doing the club vibe.
So he reinvented and created his own lane that wasn't nobody really following. He was getting on the mic and making up chants and stuff.
Right.
So boom, he killing them. So the one thing Bernie didn't have was Raw Lee tracks. So before he died, he still didn't complete it, but he was in the process of getting all Raw Lee stuff and releasing it.
Wow.
So
that's crazy.
Because Raw was printing his own stuff, you know, Raw to open a record store, or he just sell them to Bernie. You know, of course Bernie gonna buy all of them, you know.
Right.
But Bernie was tired of buying all of them. Bernie wanted his own, you know, his own shit. But yeah, that was a life. That was slick back then.
That was a good time. So, like, let me ask you, as a person that has a catalog of club music, is it? And there's still a demand for it worldwide.
Yeah.
So, are you putting your music out online?
Mine's online.
And then, like, you got a little streaming, couple dollars. Yeah, you get a couple pennies. Some lunch money.
I put all my stuff online now. I don't worry about the streets no more, no hard copies or nothing.
Right.
Like, my projects, I just throw them out. I don't let nobody know. I don't shoot no email blast. Like, go check it out.
Right. You just put out, and whoever finds it,
they find it, you know.
That's crazy. That's so insane. So, all right. So, after that, the record store closes and the studio closes. What's the next move for you?
Next for me, I went and got a regular job.
Wait a minute. So, after all of this super dynamic stuff, and then you went back to cutting hair, huh?
You know, me and Theo did shows. Me and Technique in the club, banging our stuff out. You know, and we everywhere. We just everywhere in the scene.
So when does
you still got Scotty putting out stuff, right? Raw Lee putting out stuff.
Right.
You got independent people. You got Troy Brown. You got Patrick. You got it's a bunch of people. You got Kenny B putting out stuff. You got Diamond K putting out stuff. So everybody pumping, you know, at the same time. So the market is good, you know.
Right.
But then Bernie dies. And everything kind of comes to a halt. And so Bernie was pretty much distributing to other cities too.
So just because he dies, the business is still there. So
no, the hustle's gone. To me, I thought the hustle was gone.
So the people that he had, his team just didn't have that same passion.
Well, Bernie didn't have a team. It was just Bernie. So you would just bring tracks to him, he'd buy them, he'd release them.
And then he would call other stores and get them to buy. So he was kind of like a driving force for that.
He was like the liaison of everything.
Wow.
Like
How did the scene react to his death?
Not good.
Because I feel like even to this day, I feel like there's a void in that.
At that time, that's where everybody went to go get the club tracks.
Wow. This is insane. So what do you do after that point?
I don't do nothing.
You just start working? So when did the Tate era come in? Because you started working with Tate after a while.
So Tate came in through Rab.
Mm-hmm.
Rab was like, yo.
Now, how did you meet Rab?
It was just a phone call.
So he just called you. I got your number from.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. That's interesting. On the screen right now is Dukeyman's phone number. Whoop. I'm just
Right.
No.
So boom, he called me like, "Yo, I gotta do one. Come and record. We already recorded the stuff. We just need to re-record it." So Tate comes in.
Now, what project is this? Is this the Crown of Thorns?
No.
Or is this the one after with the
one after it.
I forgot what they call it. Live Hazy.
Right.
All right.
So boom.
So when he's doing Live Hazy, the record had already taken off.
No.
It.
Well, the Bankrolls track was a hidden track on the whole CD. You didn't even know it was in there. It wasn't on the track list.
Okay.
It was a bonus.
Okay. Because I interviewed Tate when he dropped Crown of Thorns. That was 2014.
That was a bonus track. The Bankrolls was a bonus track that they didn't even want to show on the CD.
Why? Because they didn't think it was nothing. It was just like some random shit. Okay, continue.
And it blew up. And that was pretty much history.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy. And then y'all still have a relationship to this day because he's still.
That's my cousin.
Yeah. Y'all be recording random stuff, but you the reason why he out here wilding, bro. I keep trying to say that.
So,
all right. So all right, what else you got? Because then you started putting out solo albums. So when did the idea crystallize in your mind that you wanted to start working with local talent?
Because people was like, "Yo, can I get a beat?" And I'm like, I don't really get on my beats like that. So I was picking and choosing who I wanted on a beat, and they rock it. I put it out. So I did the first one. It took like a year to do. But the second one took like a year to do. Then I'm on the third one. So it's gonna be a couple months. It's a little faster now. But it worked out real good. I'm getting good numbers on it and everything. So I'm working on the next one now, and just like the one that's out now with Tim Trees, he the one kicked off the whole third project because I had a beat and I could hear him on that, so I gave it to him. So it was his choice to choose it if he wanted to pass on it.
Right.
And he was like, "No, I'm gonna go ahead and run with it." And we recorded. I thought it was dope. And I had mixed reviews from my peoples about it. You know, they were like, "Well, Tim Trees, he old." You know what I'm saying? Whatever. I'm like, "Nah, I think it's dope." So one day, Tim Trees called me and was like, "Yo, I need a clean version. I'm gonna give it out." I was like, "Cool, send it to him." I'd already made it. That's it,
I'm telling you.
Within like the whole day, it just went nuts.
That shit is crazy.
He's like, "Yo, I got so and so to play it." I'm like, "Cool." So getting stuff played on the radio wasn't nothing new to me. So I figured it was.
It's gonna happen. Yo, I'm telling you, like. He introduced to him. I told you on the phone the other day. He's being introduced to a whole new generation. Y'all think, because he old. These young kids don't know about him. So he just another nigga dropping a record and the shit getting hot again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he can really re-release his album for real, and make a new run out of it.
So as of right now, everybody love it and it's popping. I think it's just refreshing for people because it's different flow.
Right.
He ain't talking about materialistic stuff. He's actually saying some slick stuff. And it's a different type of track.
And I was about to say that. And it's not the stereotypical, trap beat, you know what I'm saying? It's like he in his own vibe doing his own thing. So it's all love. Boy, you getting hot in here. I told you that damn jacket. So anyway, look, y'all keep it locked. Don't go nowhere. We live on Aries Lounge, one-on-one conversation. Dukeyman is in the building. We'll be right back. It's your boy JS One Supplier, VVCRadio.com. Aries Lounge, one-on-one conversation, man. I got Dukeyman, the OG, in the building. Yeah, it's about time for us to wrap this up, man. So before I do, I gotta get to the info, bro. You gotta tell me. So like, what else you got coming up? So you got 2 albums out already.
I got 2 albums out already. So the main people on there are Paper Mache, Jody. I got a track with you might have, I don't know if y'all know him, but David Corey.
Yes.
I got a track with David Corey on there. Tate, of course, is on there. Lil Key is on there. What's his name? Charlie Trout.
Okay.
You know Charlie Trout?
DJ Charlie Trout?
No, tall Charlie Trout, rapper.
Nope, never heard of him.
Yeah, Charlie Trout. He's dope. Charlie Trout's on there. My godson Ferragamo, he's on there.
Okay.
Oh, I know you know Al Great.
Yes, sir. Of course.
Al Great is on both
Of
of
course. I'm trying to convince him to get his ass back in the studio.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Get your ass back in the studio. Go ahead.
Yeah. But on the new project so far, I got Eric Now from LMS, Tim Trees,
He going hard.
Lonnie Moore.
Let's
Lonnie
go. Let's
Moore
go. Let's
kills
go.
us, man. That's my man.
He need to get his head up out the hole and get back to work.
Another Paper Mache track. Tim Trees, of course. Jody? Yeah, Jody's back on there.
Come on, bro. This seems to be like a little cliquish now. You gotta get some diversity going on.
I try to open my door up and people be bluffing.
What?
So I gotta
Get
stick with what I
Inky
know.
on the phone real quick, man.
I gotta start with people. I mean, you can send them to me.
Let me get Sleepy on the phone real quick, man. We gotta get this right, man. Come on,
Sleepy?
bro. Blue Benjamin Sleepy.
Yo, I love him, yo.
Sleepy cool as shit.
I love him.
Yo, Sleepy is cool
I
as
just
shit.
followed his ass on Instagram. He hard
Sleepy.
as shit.
You want me to get Slick on the phone for you?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let's GGL Slick. Let's get some moves on here. Come on, bro.
Yeah, I like Sleepy.
Let me call 100 Grand Man and tell his ass to come on out retirement real quick.
I like Sleepy though.
Come on, bro. Let's get the whole
But
city on
it's whoever down. I mean, I'm not guaranteeing you find a track out of because I don't make tracks for people. I just make tracks.
Right.
So if you find something out of my
catalog,
you know,
right,
that goes back to 2006. If you find something, run it. You know.
I love that. I love that, man. Go ahead, do that shit. I feel like that's big. I'm putting the word out right now. If y'all don't link, I'm gonna start calling people phones.
I'm just planting my little seed, you know, just in case something happens.
Right.
They be like, oh, well, you know, what else you got? I got like, a whole bunch of projects that I released, you know. So.
And I feel like they could benefit from your knowledge. You know what I mean? Being that you been in the major system.
I don't know why they don't. I don't know. They don't use me like that.
Well, a lot of times people don't know. There's a lot of people that don't know about your existence because they, you know, not educated. Yeah. Like for real. Like honestly, that's one of the reasons why I kind of readjusted my platform to do this because I felt like, yo, I know about y'all, and a lot of people was like, who is that? Who is this? So I was just like, yo, I had to.
Well, what's funny is my name still be buzzing because little young cats, they be like, oh yeah, you know, I'm going to go to Dukeyman house, and they pause like, Dukeyman. Like, you know Dukeyman?
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
you a legend, nigga.
Like I had DJ Cornbread at my house. I got his son on the track. His son dope.
That's real.
And he was like, yo, my son blowing my wife's phone up because he video live on Facebook saying he was at my house.
Right.
He was like, I ain't know my dad knew Dukeyman. Like, everybody know your father. Like, your father probably worse than me. You know, everybody know your father. He a DJ. He was the slickest dude back in the day. You know?
But you how kids are. Kids like they look at their parent and be like, whatever, nigga. I see.
Like,
I see this nigga every day.
Cornbread, he's Baltimore, you know,
right.
So it's the same like everybody else. But
like Jay-Z kids is gonna be like, really? Whatever.
No, I was just coming over today.
Yeah.
We saw him last week. You know,
it'd be crazy.
Nah, you know, I'm still doing my thing.
That's what's up. He still ain't done my record yet. Like, yo, like, remember back when we did the radio interview and you was like, yeah, nigga, come to the studio, yo, we gonna do a record together.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. That was it was on my bucket list back when I was rapping. It wasn't easy to get the Dukeyman back in the day, yo. I don't care all that slick shit he talking right now.
I got beats.
I always, when I was a rapper, I was like, yo, I want to give me a Dukeyman beat and I want to give me a Raw Lee beat and I know I'm gonna blow after that. The shit is out. I'm out of here. You know what I mean? So I'm never gonna release it, but we gonna record the motherfucker.
Shit, I'm gonna release it.
You gonna release that shit? Nah, that's crazy.
Hell yeah.
Come on, bro.
That's all.
You know what I be scared of?
All the criteria to get on my project is you gotta be my beat and I gotta record it. That's it.
I'm scared that shit might go somewhere and then I'll be stuck being a rapper for like 2 years. Like, oh God, that is disgusting. Yo. So anyway, thank you so much for your time, brother. I do appreciate your knowledge, yo. Yo, make sure, what's your social media so they can follow you?
Dukeyman.
There you go. You know what I mean? Don't forget, keeping locked in with and follow him on social media.
Dukeyman too.
Cash at that nigga Dukeyman. He got a record pool as well. Yeah. You sign up for his record pool. You follow him. Get any information. So if you're a DJ, if you're an artist and you try and get your record into the record pool,
hit me up.
Yo, Get your money right, bro. Don't approach this nigga on some "Can you do me a favor?" freebie. I love you, yo. When I get on, I'm gonna put you on.
You heard
Fuck all
you
that
my
shit.
cuz, yo.
Yeah, right. Fuck all that, man. Come correct, especially family. I don't give you this blood, niggas. Come with the bread. You know what I'm saying? We'll check y'all next time. Aries Lounge VC.